Damon Thibodeau, the victim's cousin, who'd been staying with her family in New Orleans, was taken in for questioning. He was not arrested, but was subjected to an overnight interrogation during which he was denied sleep. After over 8 hours of questioning and despite being innocent, Damon confessed to raping and murdering his cousin. This confession was factually inconsistent with the actual crime in many ways. He described different electrical cord, said the injuries to her head and face were caused by his hands, not a heavy object, and forensic examiners could find no trace of any sexual assault or rape. Despite this, he was quickly arrested, convicted, and sentenced to death in the notorious Angola prison in Louisiana. After 15 years of work by his lawyers, a DNA test on some blood left behind by the murderer proved that Damon was innocent. He was exonerated on the 28th of September 2012. He now lives in Minneapolis, Minnesota.
I had just laid down to go to sleep when the detectives knocked on my door, said they wanted to ask me some questions about Crystal. At first, I thought it was just a routine thing. Her body was found as I was being questioned. They put you in a room and, you're in a chair with a desk. They're allowed to manipulate you, threaten you, pretty much do whatever it takes to secure a confession.
Clarence and another janitor later found her naked body in the school's loft. She'd been raped and strangled to death. While being questioned by police, an investigator announced that one of them would hang for the murder. He then said to Clarence, "Since you're the nigger, you're elected." In court, Clarence twice faced an all-white jury in a town where Ku Klux Klan meetings were still commonplace. He was sentenced to death and came within 5 days of being executed when private investigators proved that the local authorities had destroyed a large amount of evidence that pointed toward his innocence. When granting him a new trial, the judge declared that no case has presented a more shocking scenario of the effects of racial prejudice, perjured testimony, and witness intimidation. Clarence was released from death row in January 1990.
I lost my sister, my mom, many aunts and uncles, cousins. A lot of them died off when I was in. My sister came down with leukemia, my oldest sister, and we wanted to see if I was going to be a bone marrow match. So I wrote the prison asking if we could do this. They wrote me back and said, "You're a dead man." No. In my eyes, the state murdered her. By putting me on death row for a crime I didn't commit, I couldn't save my sister's life, and she died at the age of 49. The way that this has affected my future is in every aspect that you can think of. Everything. Getting a house, getting credit, trying to find somebody to spend the rest of my life with. Plus, I've lost the ability to have a kid. I'm 51. About 10 years ago, Social Security sent me a notice saying, if you were to retire right now, we'll give you a grand total of, get this, $36 a month, because I haven't paid into Social Security for 24 years. So I have no retirement money whatsoever, so I'll have to work until I die.